Welcome to Kitchen Q&A, the show where I answer your questions about Amazon, e-commerce, business, success, motivation, and anything else that appears in my inbox. Hey, how's it going? Welcome to Kitchen Q&A. It's Ollie here from E-commerce Freedom. Got some more questions from you that I want to answer over the next few minutes. So, Hatim asks, could you give a breakdown for all expenses I need to pay when I start my Amazon business, including marketing and advertising? If I have $3,000 in total, how can I allocate this amount? It's a great question, man. And to be honest with you, it can be kind of difficult to predict exactly how much money you're going to need for all of these things. It depends on like quite a lot of factors, because you're going to have to pay for your Amazon account subscription each month, which is like $40. You're going to need to pay for some software, maybe like Jungle Scout or something. You need to buy stock, and you're going to need to budget some of that stock for promotions, pay a little bit of pay-per-click as well. So if I were you, maybe allocate half of that money for initial batch of stock, and then the rest you can use for everything else, and that will give you a lot of leeway. But it will kind of depend on what product you want to source, what the minimum order quantity is, how much they're willing to ship over for you, what time of year you want to ship it, and all kind of stuff like that. But as a rule of thumb, maybe use half of your money for stock and the other half for everything else. I hope that's helpful for you, man. Vicky says, when building a brand, tagline or logo, and choosing private label products within that brand, will they all need to fit within the same category? This is a great question. So whenever you're building a brand, the main thing you want to aim for is for that brand to have like an overarching theme. So that theme doesn't necessarily have to be a category, or it could be like you could just sell like pets products or baby products or products for kids, or products for home and kitchen, but it doesn't necessarily have to be. One way to think about it is to imagine the people you want to sell to and then build your brand around that. So what a brand does essentially is it makes products more than the sum of their parts. So let's say you got like a cup like this, right? Right now it's just a piece of china. Well, if a brand is selling me this cup, then I feel like I'm buying it from some people who I know like what their message is, I know what they're trying to achieve with their business, and it's more than just a transaction. So if you can build your brand around that idea, like try and make it a bit more human, and really have a message behind what the products you're selling, that's enough. So once you've decided on that theme, I mean, it could be anything. It could be like products for women in their 40s, or products for men, or it could be that maybe you're really passionate about one particular thing, like, I don't know, coffee, then you could make your brand around that. As long as there's like a theme, then and your brand seems to have some kind of message, then just make sure the products all fit within that. What I'd recommend is go as broad as you can, because to be honest with you, we're looking for products that sell really, really well on Amazon. So you want to give yourself a lot of leeway, and you don't want to be eliminating products that could be really, really hot sellers on your account just because they don't fit in your brand. So in fact, category-wide brands can work really well, but as long as it's a theme and there's a message behind what you're trying to sell, then it should work out pretty well. Hope that helps, Vicky. Giorgio says, how do you grow your Amazon business with really, really low risk and really, really high profit? Well, whenever you're building a business, there's always going to be some element of risk, right? That's kind of the way it goes. But the more you get educated about how to analyze and research products properly, the more support you can get along the way whilst you're doing that, the lower the risk will be. Like, the more you can read the data Amazon gives you about products, how you can use all different tools and software out there, using things like bestseller ranking to predict how well products will sell, looking at competition levels. The more you can get like knowledge about that stuff, the lower the risk will be that you lose money. Also, the wider you go with your inventory, the lower the risk as well. So let's say instead of selling like just one product and having like thousands and thousands of units of this one product, I mean, what happens if competition comes in and undercuts you and all of a sudden your sales get killed off? Or what if Amazon kick you off the platform for that product and shut down the ASIN? Well, it's a huge risk of your business going under. It's much better to have maybe 10, 20, 30, 100 products selling on your account, each one of them generating profit. Then if one of them gets shut down, then you've still got like 99 others. So that's a great way to reduce risk and maximize profit. Diversify, go really wide, and get as much knowledge as you can about how to analyze good stock to sell on your account. Great question there, Giorgio. Thanks, man. Hope that was helpful. Let's have a look here. Jay says, how about VAT? When do you pay this? And how? And so say I go to a shop, scan a product and buy it and throw it on Amazon. How do I pay VAT? So you only need to pay VAT if you're selling in the EU and especially in the UK, right? So if you live inside the UK and you want to sell in the UK, then I believe the current threshold for VAT is £83,000 a year, and that's turnover. Okay, so once you hit that, then you have to pay VAT. Before that threshold, you don't have to pay at all. So some sellers actually coast underneath the threshold for their whole careers. To be honest, I don't know if that's a good idea. You're not going to make too much profit if you're doing less than 83k a year. I definitely aim to do more and then just work VAT into your business model. But you don't have to worry about it until you hit that point. So the best thing to do when it comes to taxes is to get in touch with an accountant. As I've said before, if you needed surgery, like you wouldn't try and do it yourself, you'd get a surgeon to do it for you, right? Well, it's the same with taxes. Hire someone who really knows what they're doing so you don't come out worse off than you were before. Awesome, so these have been your questions. Thanks so much for asking them. Keep them coming in. If you've got any more questions, then I've got my email down below. You can shoot us a message, leave a comment below this video, and I'll try and get to your questions in the next episode of Kitchen Q&A. Cheers for watching. Hit the subscribe button if you want more awesome videos about how to explode your Amazon business, and I'll catch you in the next video. Take care, keep believing, and we'll chat soon.